All right. Hello, everybody. Let's do this. Let's get the party started. Please do say hello if you're joining and if you have any particular requests. And if not, I'll mostly be working on getting some things ready for PySpark. Also, yeah, just realized I didn't have noise suppression on my mic. Just added that. Let's see if it makes a difference. And if it sounds good, let's make a start. Hello, Mukesh. Hello there. Good to see you both. All right, then. Let's do this. So I'd first just like to start by illustrating the issue that we're really going to try focusing on today. So when we're using pandas, polars, I'll first illustrate something using polars, and then I'll show the DuckDB SQL equivalent, where the same considerations will apply to PySpark. So in polars, it's totally allowed to do something like this. Like it's totally allowed to do, say, pl.call a minus pl.call a dot mean dot alias a, and then like take this whole thing, I think it's allowed at least, and give it another alias. Select. Yeah, this is totally allowed. But if we try to do this in DuckDB, in SQL, no module named, I'd uninstalled DuckDB temporarily earlier. So let's try this. If we try to do this in DuckDB, then the moment you try doing something like select A minus, let's say mean A over all rows as A from rel. Like this is allowed. I think it's allowed. No, it's not. It's not even allowed. You're not allowed to have an alias in here. You need to put the alias here at the end. And the reason this is an issue is because I'll show you why it's an issue. So if we just did select mean A over everything, and we did it without an alias, then like this, the column name becomes the name of the operation, whereas in polars, we would expect the original name to be preserved. So what we do in Narwhals is we set aliases at the end of each operation to make sure that the name is preserved. But with SQL, with PySpark, the syntax just doesn't allow us to do all of these aliases. We just need to do an alias at the end. So that means we need to rewrite a large part of the internals, which is fine because it's giving us a chance to refactor things and clean a lot of things up and get rid of a lot of complexity and a lot of duplication. And it's fairly interesting to think about, but it does take some effort. So yeah, there's a couple of things we need to address. So one is passing around metadata between operations, and another is I think the metadata is probably not terrible at the moment. The other one is tracking root and output names, so we don't have to continuously be setting aliases all of the time. curious to see if we can do this. I think we should be able to do this at the Narwhals level, and at the Narwhals level, we can just set an alias. And then we don't have to track all of this within each implementation. Is this feasible? So for example, if we go to the definition of with columns, then over here we've got so we do this flatten and extract step. Yeah, the question is, at what point should we be setting aliases? This is really the crux of the issue, and it's not obvious to me. Like, it feels like it could be here inside flatten and extract. You are extracting underlying objects. No, it shouldn't be here, sorry, because the underlying objects, well, should it be? So extract compliant. So here we just call the underlying function of the expression, and then we set an alias. So maybe that's fine. Maybe this is... Yeah, this could be fine, because we're only doing this... Like, no matter how complex an operation is, this only gets called once. Let's just fact check that. So if we did from native on this pandas data frame, let's use a pandas one just because in pandas we are re-implementing everything ourselves. So it just helps us to check that we haven't taken any shortcuts. And let's do something like a.abs.shift -1. Yeah, let's just have a few operations in here. And then if we go to data frame and we go here to extract compliant, then my question is, how many times is this being called? And my expectation is that no matter how complex the expression is, it should only get called once. That's, yeah, just to make it even more unusual. Let's have A, let's center it as well. Right, so we're getting here at least once, and that's the only time. Okay, that's good. That's kind of what I was hoping to see. So that means it should be possible to just do the operation as is, and then it's only here within extract compliant that we alias the output name. So if the argument is another data frame, such as a data frame that we're joining with, then okay, we just return the compliant frame. There's no issue there. If it's a series, then the series is eager, it's already got a name. We shouldn't need to do anything. Yeah, we shouldn't need to do anything here. Shouldn't be an issue. But this is the part where I think we might want to do something. So this is where we might want to set an alias. So we might here first alias to the leftmost root name, or well, or nothing. Just alias to the leftmost root name. And if there's multiple outputs, yeah, I guess it's either this, unless there's multiple outputs, in which case in which case what are we no wait, what are we trying to do here? Because here we've just got a single one, so we wouldn't be able to, like in the case of multiple outputs, we wouldn't be able to alias every single expression there individually. Having said that, when we go here to a compliant expression, this might need doing at the compliant level. Now in pandas, there's already some functionality to keep track of root names and output names. And I wonder if we can use that. Yeah, I wonder. I think in fact, this could be a plan of attack. So we start by trying to improve this detection of root names in the pandas case. See if no, let's not do pandas. Let's do Dask because that doesn't have an eager equivalent. So in the Dask case, we could try to simplify this handling of root names. Don't just like blindly alias every single expression. Try to only alias at the end and see if this still works. And if it does, then that should be encouraging because it will mean that we can do the same thing for PySpark, and then we can support much more complex things. And in particular, I'm hoping that it means that we can get rid of virtually everything inside this group by function. Like this is way too complex. This is what it should be possible to aim for, just to have ag columns and then just aggregate. Like this is all the this should be all the complexity we need in group by ag. This is the entire group by function, group by file for DuckDB. It's just 49 lines of code, most of which are inputs. Maybe not most, but a lot of which are inputs. Like this is all the complexity we need. But to be able to do that for PySpark, we need to stop setting so many aliases. Should be possible to do this. Let's dive in. So first of all, we're going to go over here to extra Dask. Let's make sure we've got Dask installed, Dask dataframe, and let's just make a little test file. So import dask.dataframe as dd. This is, we not have pandas imported. Okay, import pandas as pd. So pd.from pandas. Then here we're going to set that, and we're going to make different columns. We're going to first just take the mean of something. Let's try to do one in which we're broadcasting. Take A, and then one that involves multiple columns, like A minus B, and check that this preserves the name of the leftmost one. Let's also put a, wait, why isn't some horizontal filling in? This is odd, no? Oh, because I'm missing a comma there, syntax error, skill issue, my bad. So now if we do A and B, it should be able to fill this in with the name of A. But also, if we put here nw.all, it should know that A is the expected name. 456. And likewise, if we do like nth1, nth1, here the output name should be B. Problem is all of these are now going to conflict. So let's just start with this all and nth1. So now if we print this, then it should show us A and B as the output names. Sure, this is what we want. Great. Yeah, need to put a lazy there to get rid of all the red, because we don't have collect on eager frames. Okay. Then let's go over here and, oh, you can't see the whole terminal. Oh dear, thanks for letting me know how to, right, this should fix it. Thanks for that. Cool. Thanks to that. Okay. Let's just check what happens when we compute a function. So I'm going to go into Dask data frame. Let's go into with columns. I think that's what we had in t.play. Yeah, this is with columns. And then here, when we pass these extras and named extras, then this, yeah, we're passing in self. This is where we should be setting aliases, which it doesn't look like we're doing. So so here for named extras, name. Here we're doing it for result in results name equals there. But here, this is where we're doing underscore result dot name. And this is the part that I don't think is right. What I'd like to get to is that we do result dot so root names should equal to result dot root names. We pass in the input data frame, and we should get out these root names. which expr, sorry, for expr we should pass out the root names. So root names should be expr dot root names df, and then here we have like some assertion that the length of root names equals the length of results. And then for name result in zip root names results. No, it's so root names. This is going to be multiple ones. Yeah. So if there's just a single result, then the output name is just going to be the leftmost one. All right, in the chat, Cameron's there. Hi, Cameron. Hope you're doing well. So root names, we're just trying to get some things ready for when we get into PySpark. So that means, yeah, a big refactor. So if we've got a list and we just do :1, that gives us a list with the first element. Cool. So if there's a single output, then take the leftmost root name. So first, well, we should do this, but we should also look at aliases. And aliases are going to be a function of the root names, because in the namespace, we can have functions that modify the root names. So then we should say root names equals expr dot evaluate aliases root names. And here, yeah, it should also be just like evaluate root names. So, okay, I think this is what we're aiming for. So every Dask expression should have two functions. One to evaluate the root names. So given some input data frame, we should be able to figure out what the root names were, so we can then take the leftmost one. In fact, do we even need to store all root names, or do we just need to store the leftmost one? Yeah, if we're just storing them for the purpose of then taking the left, well, yeah, sorry, no, there might be multiple outputs, in which case we definitely need to keep all of them. Okay. So we should have evaluate root names, which is a callable, which given the compliant data frame can tell you what the root names were. So then we can take the leftmost one if the result just produces a single column. It should also take a callable called evaluate aliases, which given a list of root names determines what the final output name is going to be. Okay. So, right. Yeah. Because we can't be relying on underscore result dot name, because we shouldn't be setting the alias multiple times. It should just happen once. This, on the plus side, this means we might be able to support what we currently call anonymous expressions in more places. Right, time for a little break. We'll resume in 5 minutes. Let's get back to this. Okay then, so yeah, we're going to need these functions. Hope they don't end up being too complicated, but I think it should be all right. So when we initialize this root names, this root names I think it's kind of wrong. It should really be evaluate root names. Okay then. This is gonna get tricky. On the one hand, it's kind of one of those situations where If I'd spent more time planning this, I could have got this right the first time. On the other hand, it's often kind of hard to determine how to do it correctly the first time. So this really needs to be a callable. And it may be a bit premature to set type hints now, but I'm just doing it to try to force myself to think clearly. So the input is going to be like a lazy frame. The output needs to be a list of strings. I can't see why the output would be any different, really. Yeah, let's do that. And yeah. Okay, this is going to go there. I'm a little confused as to why this is red. List string. Does compliant extra say anything about root names? Ooh, yes. This one does in fact say about evaluate root names. Let's just put any for now. What the hell? We'll do that later. Okay then, so root names. Let's start with the simplest possible one, and that would be col, def col. So from column names, when we initialize it, then now root names it's just fixed. We know what the root names are. They don't depend on the input data frame. So this is going to be like lambda df list column names. Easy. Easy. And this is going to be evaluate root names. It's probably good that we're renaming it because then it gives us a quick check about which ones we've been through and which ones we haven't. Then here, root names, this is where it gets more interesting because currently we've just got evaluate root names as none, but we can do better than that now. We can make this a callable. And the input is going to be a DAS, yeah, it's going to be a compliant frame. So this should be a bit easier. So lambda df, and the output is going to be dot columns, and the indices, yeah, we take the indices given here. So list column indices. I think Python lists work this way, right? Like if my names are like A, C, D, and I do 0 to, no, we're not allowed to do this, really. How do we slice out? We can't just slice lists like that in Python. Okay, I guess not. So it's going to be df.columns I for I in column indices. This feels like it should work. Yeah, famous last names by every programmer. Okay, anything else here? From call. Okay, yeah. Now what? Now what do we do about the root names? What do we do about root names when we're combining expressions? And I feel like saying that it's all of the ones on the left and all of the ones on the right. But So we need to make a new callable here. So this is going to be evaluate root names. So it's going to be everything from the left one and everything from the right one, but without duplicates. So this is going to be, so lambda df. And then, we've got all the quags. We're going to have to make this one output names. Let's just set this as none for now. Want it. Yeah, this is going to be a headache to refactor. This is really going to be quite hard. So infer new root names. We've got self and quags. We've got all of these. So this is going to have to be a function. So we take in some dask lazy frame. Oh gosh, yeah, because we. I feel like we need to get the tests just passing for dask without running everything else, and then we can run the other ones anyway. Like code reuse is nice, but also then when you refactor, it means you need to refactor everything together. So here we're going to say, so root names, we're going to take extra that evaluate root names at df. And then for, no, never mind. Well, actually, this kind of gives us a way to think about, to validate combinations of multi-output expressions. But I'm not sure I want that complexity here. So okay, I'm just going to write it out as a Python for loop first, and then let's see if we can make it into a comprehension. So for value is values. Can probably do this. So we're going to first take all of these, and then we're going to have root name in comparand dot evaluate root names. Yeah, so this does need to be a comma. So then we're going to have root name in that one, and then for comparand. So for comparand in quags dot values for root name in evaluate root names. if root name not in, right, yeah, so the first one we need to make separately. And then we expand it. Extend. Does Python accept this? Yeah, looks like it. Okay, and then we can just return this. Return root names. This seems reasonable because it preserves the order and it avoids duplicates. Yeah, I'm not sure we can do much better. And I really doubt that the overhead here is going to be anything noticeable, really. Like Python is pretty fast at just looping over a handful of elements. And now the output is going to be this function. So this is going to be our new evaluate root names function. And yeah, output names is just going to be none. We're not going to care about that for the time being. All right, cool. And the other thing we don't need to do anymore then is here to always be renaming things. Yeah, I think we don't need this step anymore. That's the goal. That's the dream. Okay. This. Let's see if we can just get the bare minimum working to get one example working. I'm just going to have nw.call a here. Let's see if we can just get this working. And I know it's going to raise. Let's just see how it raises. Let's just see if we can get the bare minimum supported. And this one has, right, yeah, we need evaluate aliases. Function initially, which maybe we can just, let's skip this for now. Let's skip this step for a second. Let's just, for now, just preserve everything according to the left-hand rule, get that working, and then we can do better. So at the moment, we've got with columns A. Let's have a select instead of with columns. And okay, hey, that's nice. Okay, it selected the first column. Put B in there. Should select the second one. Okay, this is a start. What are we doing with root names? We're putting it here. Okay. So what if we have nth1? Okay, nth1 chose the first column. Okay, yeah, okay. So this one is actually, it seems like it's doing its job. Like if we just replace this with like a 0, just to check that we can break it. No, wait, it doesn't seem to be. Like I kind of just wanted to have the wrong thing here, just to make sure that we could, that the output would be wrong, just so we've got some assurance that the evaluate root names is doing its thing. And it doesn't look like it is. So select pass name, yeah. So here, yeah, we've got the root names. Let's just put a breakpoint here. Let's inspect the root names. There is this assertion, and then here, wait, name is just not being used here, is it? If here we use name. Oh, right. Yeah, it seems to be working. Wonderful. So now if we go back to the definition and to from column indices, and now we put something sensible, then does it give us the desired output? It gives us B, okay. If we put like nth 1 0, does it give us B and then A? It gives us an assertion error. Wonder why. So root names only B. Is that because it got truncated by len results just being 1? So len underscore results is 2. If len results equals 1, that's what I wanted to do. And yeah, now it gives us the right result. Okay, so looks like there's potential for this idea. Okay, now comes the difficult part of actually taking it forwards to completion, seeing if we're still able to get all tests passing. Yeah. And then complete the refactor across the rest of the code base. Yeah, I think I might go crazy doing this, but it's going to be worth it. So I okay, yeah, I am worrying here. Do we need to do anything extra for the output name? So let's go to def from callable. So here, where we're inferring the new root names, do we need to do anything to infer a new function for the aliases? I don't think it matters. I think we just need the current expressions evaluate aliases. Yeah, I think we just need the current expressions evaluate aliases. Like, it doesn't really matter what anything on the right-hand side was aliased to. Because, for example, yeah, because everything in the Polars expression system refers to something that's originally in the input. Like if I did something like select pl.call a plus pl.call b, and then I alias this to d plus pl.call d, like it's can't do this kind of thing. It'll tell us that d just does not exist. Everything gets evaluated using the input data frame. So there's no reason not to set the alias just at the end. And there's no reason for the alias to not just respect the alias of the leftmost expression. Right, yeah. Okay, I'm fairly, yeah. So here we're going to change this to evaluate aliases. And instead of none, we're just going to keep self.evaluate aliases. Finally, I don't think we can modify this function because this one's used by pandas, arrow, and all of that, and I don't think it's feasible to modify this one immediately. So let's just make sure we've got this one copied. Then let's undo everything in this file. I don't trust my Git skills enough. Let's put everything back. Let's add everything. Let's make some work in progress commit. Then we've got this duplicated function. So this one is going to become evaluate root names. And then the other one needs to stay the same. So let's see how it was originally. Narwhals, expression parsing. Okay, yeah, just so okay. What we're gonna do is we're gonna check out upstream main of this file. Gonna whoops. Gonna copy this one. We're gonna undo the checkout. Let's see if we can not break anything. So checkout head. Okay, yeah, I like this. Let's. So this is the original implementation that we've got on main. Here's the new one that we're working towards, which I'm going to call infer evaluate root names. I have to improve function naming across across everything. So let's see. So now I don't want to use infer new root names. Let's use the new one, which is going to be infer evaluate root names. And let's check that our simple example in t.py still runs. Okay, looks like it's there. Nice. Okay, cool. Thanks all. Let's take a little break and see if we can actually power through this. Oof, exhausting. Okay, we're gonna get this done. Yeah, I'm gonna do this. Also, I think this might be the first session where I managed to not hide the code with a browser because I haven't opened the browser. Yeah, one way to do it. The other thing is, I think that we should undo the changes here, right? We can just leave this to be root names as it is. And for now, Dask just won't be a compliant expression. It'll just, this might take a bunch of type ignores, and that's okay. Or we just keep it as compliant and we just say like root names equals none, just everywhere, just so it's compliant. Do we also need output names there? Yeah, we do. Output names equals none. Just keep it there for compatibility, but with the understanding that it's just temporary. So from column indices, well, the other one is what about nw.all? What happens if we use that? Presumably this will raise, right? Yes, none type object is not callable. Yeah, so let's go here to desk namespace. Let's go to the definition of all. And now, yeah, nice. Evaluate root names is no longer going to be none. Okay, this is getting beautiful. This is going to be lambda df.columns. Easy. And evaluate aliases is going to be none. I think this makes sense. Like evaluate, do we have an evaluate aliases argument yet? No, not yet. Let's forget about that one for a second. What we're going to have later, and I'll just add this in the t.py file, so to the plan of attack, is that we wrote it somewhere, evaluate aliases. Yeah. Let's make a note of that. So evaluate aliases, start as none, and only make it some when we call alias or dot name methods, which actually makes me wonder, does Polars allow for multiple? I'm asking because I don't remember. Does Polars allow for multiple aliases? If I do like a.alias, b.alias c. Yes, they allow it, really. I'm a little surprised. So yeah, they allow that, but I think there's something else they don't allow though. Like if I do name.suffix, my suffix. Yeah, this is kind of interesting. So if you use anything like .name, it discards any previous aliasing operation that you did. So we are going to have to keep that in mind. I think we can do it. But yeah, something to think about. Right, so where were we? So in from call. Inside, yeah, let's just put desk here. I don't want anything else for the time being. Evaluate aliases. Let's just comment this out for a second. Now, oh wait, did this work? Just by doing nw.all. Okay, that's pretty nice. Yeah, pretty good. Right. What if we do an operation? Just add 1 to it. Then, yeah, we're missing some keyword arguments, output names, which we shouldn't need. Let's get rid of this output names. Wait, in fact, yeah, where is this output names? Oh, here it is. Yeah, let's get rid of that. Well, let's rename it straight away. Yeah. So this one is now going to be evaluate aliases. And this is also going to be a callable, which, given some list of names, going to give us a new list of names. So self.output names we're no longer going to modify, but we are going to say self.evaluate aliases is going to be evaluate aliases. And then here, yeah, that's actually, here we preserve self.evaluate aliases. Then in add, you need to got an unexpected, yeah, okay, so now we can remove all of these output names. Equals in Dask, how many do we have? 28. 28 places to update. I guess it's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. I'm going to leave the extra.name out for a second. Yeah, we'll come back to that one at the end. Let's just get the main ones done. So from output names, from column names, and initially we're not setting any aliases. So evaluate aliases equals none. Yeah. I mean, we could, I think we only want to evaluate aliases if aliases exist, because we could just say here that evaluate aliases should be like lambda df list column names. But I guess keeping it as none might allow us to raise some errors in some other cases. Let's just do this for now. So evaluate aliases equals none. Like at the beginning, if we just make a column with pl.col, there's no alias on it. So for now, it's just going to be that. Now, alias, this is where things get interesting. Because the root names are unaffected by what alias we set. But the alias changes. Because now evaluate aliases becomes lambda root names, and we just return name. But we probably want to raise here if root names is longer than 1. So let's see, what's the first argument actually called? Oh, just call. Okay. So the callable is going to stay the same, but evaluate aliases is going to change. So here we're going to have root names. Going to be a list of strings, and we're going to get a list of strings out. Yeah. And then if then, let's just have an assert for now. If then, yeah, assert root names equals 1. I'm trying to think if there's any case where we could have 0 root names here. We'll figure that out later. And then we just return name. Easy. I like where this is going. This feels like it's really like the next big step forwards for Narwhals internals. And it's going to let us do so much with other backends. Okay, all is also raising. So evaluate root names. Yeah, that's everything. And then evaluate aliases is going to be none. We're not setting any aliases yet. What? Int has no attribute evaluate root names, okay? This error message is very strangely formatted. Maybe it's just because of how large I've made the terminal. I wanted to make it large enough that it would show up nicely on the stream, but then now it's too large. Well, it's at least partly on me for having written a too long line. So let's split that up. For comparand in, let's see, we need to put an if statement here. Comparand in quark-set values. If yeah, we only do this if it's an expression. If is instance. And the way we can do that, avoiding like circular inputs and everything, is just by checking for Narwhals extra, which I'm not sure about, but for now, it's fine. None typos no len. Oh, there's no results. Ooh, yeah, sorry, here we don't need to reassign. We just do root names.extend. Ah, nice, we've got it. So when we do NW all, yeah, sure, we get this one as expected. If we add 1, for example, it all increments by 1 and the names stay the same. Now, let's try some further magic. If we alias as a C, I'd expect this to raise an error. It should, no? What? What? Why is this not raising alias? Yeah, assert root names equals 1. Is this not getting called? Funk. We're setting that here in, oh, because we commented out the evaluate aliases part, right? Yes, yeah, so here we're going to say if extra.evaluate aliases is not none, then we're going to put the root names through the evaluate aliases function. And now, indeed, we get an error. And okay, this is getting a bit exciting. So suppose we just select column A first. Now, I think it should let us. No, it doesn't let us, really. But we've only got a single column. So let's print out the root names. Ah, typo. Len root names should be equal to 1. Nice. Okay, we're getting there. This is very exciting to me. Git checkout. the big desk refactor. Commit -n, definitely -n, because this is going to break everything. And I'm just curious, if we just start running some tests, let's just see what fails. Just curious to see how far we get. So if we do like PyTest tests, let's do the frame tests. Let's only run them for desk. And let's just put an X. So -x, it'll just stop at the first error. Function has no attribute extend. Combined root names. Yeah, why is this one getting called? Oh, in all horizontal. Interesting. So, what this one should be is something else. There's another one that we can make here, which we called like def infer new root output names, which is really badly named. For a start, let's remove the output names part because that's just not really true. And let's just go back to t.py. Let's just try to get the sum horizontal one working. So in sum horizontal in desk, what are we doing? So output names, this one, ooh, wait, what does bolus do here? Does it keep the aliases of the leftmost one? Let's make our data frame. Select, then we're going to do sum horizontal. So if we do like A and B, and the output name is A, if we alias A to C, the output is C. So this alias gets carried through. And similarly, if we do this, like pl.call a.alias c plus pl.call b, the final alias is probably going to be c. Yeah. Whereas for us here in Dask, let's see what happens. But I think it's not going to work the way I'm hoping it will. Like this, yeah, we get C as the output. But now, if we just sum like column B or something. Oh, right, because we selected A. Let's delete that one. Yeah, the output name is correct. So, because in from call, we're preserving the current alias function. And what we need to do in sum horizontal is, see if we can do this in sum horizontal, we need to take exprs 0 dot evaluate aliases. Like, we're going to preserve the aliasing function of the leftmost input. And then for evaluate root names, yeah, this one, we need something different. we're going to do, we have that one, infer. So we've got this one, infer new, so infer evaluate root names. And here we're going to pass extras 0 and then 1 forwards. We also need to reevaluate how this one's getting used in the other place, which is here, self.quarks. We should just be passing dot values. Let's call this like other extras. Okay, now we've got it. So now if we go back to some horizontal, and now, yeah, this one does in fact work. And if we were to alias the first one, then I think the aliasing function should be passed down. You know, got a feeling this might actually work. Yeah, it does work. Okay, nice. Cool, that's more successful than I was expecting it to be. So we're gonna tackle the rest of these horizontal functions. Okay, let's do it. So what we want is something like this. Yeah, evaluate root names. We're going to combine the leftmost one and then the next ones, and we keep the leftmost evaluate aliases. So def something underscore horizontal, and we need to do this instead of these two ones. And then any horizontal, instead of evaluate root names and output names, we're going to have our new corrected evaluate root names and aliases. This one's already done, mean horizontal. Yeah, we started Narwhals not because we thought it wasn't going to be difficult, but because we didn't realize how difficult it was going to be. But it's also fairly interesting, gotta be honest, just thinking about all of these things, as well as Francesco put it, the friends we made along the way. It's good fun. All worth it, no regrets. Okay. What? 50% of the tests pass per frame? No way. I don't believe it. Arrow X Pro. Okay, so there's some okay, yeah, there's some test that's running into Arrow for some reason, which we should really be skipping. But by the looks of it, we're doing pretty well. Only 3 tests failed, and they are unrelated to Dusk. Wow. Wow, this is very encouraging. Yeah, very pleased with this. Okay. Git commit. More work in progress. No commit. Let's just push to upstream head. Let's. Thanks for the party ta-da emojis. I can't see who sent them, but I appreciate it. And yeah, let's take a break and then see if we can finish this. Gosh, this is quite rewarding. Yeah. Okay, let's get back to it. Hello, everybody. So from the chat, Francesco, my brain is exploding. Mine too. My brain is completely exploding. So my brain was already exploding from this work, and then I saw Cameron's pull request earlier, and my brain just double exploded. Like there's things in here that I just like. I thought I had some grasp of Python. I thought I knew something about Python, and then meta property comes in, and yeah, I'm gonna have to spend some time understanding this. But I like the look of it. My brain exploded a long time ago. Okay, from there in the chat, yeah, I think. Okay, we're all in the same boat here. Just like our brains have exploded. It's a Friday afternoon, and if I put on any music to relax us, then YouTube will probably copyright strike me. I need to find some royalty-free lo-fi beats to relax to that I could put on. Okay, Cameron, descriptors. Okay, I don't know what a descriptor is though. I need to learn this. Yeah. Okay, where were we? Yeah, we've got the tests passing at the frame level. Do they pass at the extra level? Let's take a look. Let's see what fails. And then I'm curious to see if we can get the name. Here's something I'd really like to be able to support. Like because if we could do like nw.all.name.suffix fancy suffix, because currently this isn't supported, right? Like if we just do this for pandas, then I think pandas raises here. Yes, because anonymous expressions are not supported in .name.suffix, but maybe the refactor we're doing is going to allow this. Cameron in the chat, I exploded my own brain thinking about that meta property, and then extra exploded it trying to add typing. Okay, so please, brains exploding left, right, and center. Yeah, it's amazing just how much we need to make our brains explode so that users can have things just work. So what we're now going to do, yeah, let's try to get this one to work. .name.suffix. So here we should go into extra underscore name in Narwhals Dask. And we need to change these. So root names is going to stay the same, right? Self.compliant extra.evaluate root names. This one should not change. There's no reason for that one to change. The call, however, is going to change because here the call is just going to be self.compliant extra.call, but the aliases are going to change. Oh wait, why am I in keep? As long as this isn't, let's just roll back a second. And let's go to suffix. Let's get rid of this one for now. So we're going to keep self.compliant extra._call. We can get rid of this, except this is what the evaluate aliases function is going to become. So evaluate root names, this is going to say the same. We're not changing the root names. Evaluate root names, yes. And then the output names, so evaluate aliases, this is going to be a callable, which takes in the root names, lambda root names, and it returns root name suffix for root name in root names. Right. Okay. Yes. Look at that. We can do anonymous. We can pass anonymous expressions to name dot suffix. Oh, this is good. Yeah. Nice. This is. It all becomes worth it when you see something like this actually come together. Yes, we're doing it, folks. We're actually doing it. Okay, let's try to do something similar then for the other .name functions. So name.prefix, this one should be similar. So prefix so name.keep, it just sets evaluate aliases to false, probably. Let's just double check that a second with how Polars does it. So we make a Polars data frame. If we do df.select this, and then we do .name.keep, then I'd expect the output name to be A. Yes, okay. So it does work the way I'm thinking it works. So here we can have self.compliantexpro.call function name, evaluate root names, prefix. Okay. Francesco, if you're there, I think you added, in fact, I'm pretty sure you added the name functionality in Narwhals. So yeah, hope you are as excited as I am about these improvements. This is so nice. Okay, cool. Then evaluate root names. Let's see if we've still got this in the register. Yes. And then here, let's put that one. So what have I done? Function string name for name in. Yeah, this seems right. Yeah. To be honest, I kind of just want to see this one work. Like now, not map lambda x. I don't know. Yeah, this one just works. Nice. Oh, so excited about this. Name desk. Okay, you need to do keep as well. Oh yeah, so keep. I think here we can just do compliantexpro.call. Let's get rid of these. And then evaluate root names. This one stays the same, but evaluate aliases now gets set to none. Okay, it's really coming together, folks. Is that everything in this file? Oh, to lowercase and to uppercase. It's questionable whether these should really be in the API, but we've got it now. So self.compliantexpr.call, then evaluate root names and output names, yeah. Dot lower. Oh, right. Yeah, okay, now I see why Francesco had the string. Because in Dask, things don't have... They inherit this weird thing from pandas, which is that the names don't have to be strings. So string name lower for name in root names, yeah. Okay, yeah, we might have to change a few others now. But that's okay, it's what we're here for. Let's do this for to uppercase as well. Oh, right, that's all of them, nice. We just need to change now lower to upper. Get rid of all these. To lowercase looks good. Keep, so keep should be none. Yeah, map. We just apply the function to string version of the name. Okay, prefix. But I think this already kind of converts this to a string, so I think this is okay. Suffix, same. Yeah, okay, nice. Oof, I like the look of this. Right, time to see what tests fail. Okay, to lowercase. Let's take a look at that already. Something's already failing. Ooh, yes! When the test failure is that it doesn't raise an error. This is good. Nice. So if what we could do is dot implementation is polars, or df.implementation is Dask. And let's put brackets around it because I don't know how Python does its things. Okay, len. So this one just returns the length of an expression, right? So evaluate root names. The root names are all of them, right? All of, yeah. So this is going to be lambda df, df.columns. And then the aliases. That's a good question. What happens if we put len? I'm going to put none here for now, but I honestly can't remember. Or maybe there aren't any root names in this expression. That's also a way to think about it. So if we make our usual data frame, if we do df.select pl.len, the output is just len. I think there just aren't any root names. Let's see. How does Polus think about it? Yeah, Polus thinks about it as there's no root names, and the output name is just len. But in Polus, you can alias this, which I think we're going to run into an issue, but for now, I'm just going to put it how I think it should be. Len is it is kinda aliased already. So evaluate root names. Okay, I kind of feel like this is just going to be nothing. There aren't any root names. And we're not going to set any aliases either. Something's going to go wrong here. But, well, let's see what. Maybe that can give us a better clue. Yeah, so len root names is different from len results, because this does give us a single result. But the root names, to be honest, even though Polus says that it has no root names, I think you can also interpret it as just using all of the columns as root names. And then an alias could be lambda root names, and we just return len. I think this kind of can make sense. Although, if someone does .name.keep, I think here they would still get a as the column name, whereas in Polars, what happens in Polars? We're really pushing things to an extreme here. pl.len .name.keep lol. Hey, Polars panics. And we don't. We win. I think this is okay then. You know. This is okay. Yeah. Let's go back to the tests. None type is not callable, but evaluate root names. Oh, when and then. Yeah, okay. So, so let's go back to the desk namespace and let's go over to the when function. So first we do all horizontal, okay, sure. And then we make a desk when, where we need those. What do we need? This is the issue. Root names, output names, none. This is the issue. So the root name. So when then, yeah, it's all then. It's then that gives the name. Yeah. So evaluate root names is going to be this just subclasses desk expert. Okay, things are starting to get a bit complicated. Yeah, we want the value to tell us the names. But my question is, once we get here, is the value really Dask extra or any? I think that if we get here, then it should already have been processed. Yeah. So evaluate root names is going to be value dot evaluate root names, and then output names is going to be also just value dot evaluate aliases. We're just going to keep whatever aliases the then value has. Who passed an output names argument? Oh, in lit. Interesting. So literal. Again, I'm just going to say that it has all of the columns, but we might want to revisit that. And then evaluate aliases. This is going to be lambda root names. And then we're going to get lit. And this is the part, yeah, I'm not really sure that this is correct. We're gonna have to think about that one. And nice, this one doesn't raise anymore. So if df.implementation is Dask or df.implementation is Dask. Oh, found lit. Nice namespace. Yeah, this should be literal. And then here, then evaluate Dask then. Right, here the alias needs aligning. So it's just going to be evaluate and then evaluate aliases. Root names is not defined. I don't care. Evaluate aliases is going to be evaluate aliases. Okay. Let's see if we can get any. Oh my goodness. No way. Yeah, there's some failures, but like, this is a lot better than I was expecting it to be. Okay, then. I think this is pretty much all that we can do for today, right now. Time to call it a day. Time to git commit -a -m work in progress -m git push, and we'll continue this another time. Well, thanks for joining. Thanks for your engagement. Don't forget to like and comment and all that engagement stuff. And yeah, see you next week at the community call. Community call is open to everyone from the community. Everyone is welcome to attend. We do that every other Friday, alternate between these live streams and community calls. Oh, nice. Thanks from Jessica. Thanks, Marco. Have a great weekend, everyone. Thank you, Dale. Thanks, everyone.